Good morning, everyone. I'm Julie Johnson, and this summer I've been working as a technical marketing specialist, reporting up to Mark Lehman, who is the Director of Technical Marketing and Evangelism. Previously located at the San Jose site, but now stationed in London. And a little bit about me, I'm also one of these BYU MBA students. And prior to working at Adobe, I worked at a digital marketing tech startup based in Boston, where I advised small to medium-sized banks on how to execute their digital strategy. And since I'm at Adobe, I thought I'd throw out that my creative outlet is food artistry, where I try to use my pastry chef degree that I have to bake as often and as much as I can. So with that said, this summer I worked on two different projects. The first was putting together a joint demo for the Adobe and Microsoft partnership, and the second was organizing the recent tech fair here at the Lehigh site for Shantanu. So I'll talk about Microsoft first. Microsoft, so for some context, in September of last year, Microsoft and Adobe entered into a new partnership. And this really was to better serve both of our customers with three new joint offerings. Those are Adobe Analytics, which can now be visualized using Microsoft's Power BI tool. Then we have Adobe Experience Manager, which now runs on Microsoft Azure. And third, Adobe Campaign and Microsoft Dynamics, which come together to give marketers an even more detailed and holistic view of their customers. So, why does this partnership matter? It matters because now with these complementary integrations, Microsoft and Adobe's product offerings are both enriched, and we gain a competitive edge over competitors like Oracle, Salesforce, Google. Another reason why this is very important is because over the coming 4 years, we anticipate that this agreement is going to drive $400 million in added revenue for Adobe. However, when I started here at Adobe in May, we were still missing a critical tool to help us realize this $400 million. And that was because customers still needed a way to visualize how these joint offerings actually work together. So that's where my project came in. As part of the technical marketing team, I managed the process of creating a demo package for each one of these joint offerings. So here's what a demo package looks like. First, this is the first of three components. So we have an internal coaching video. This is given by an expert on the integration and explains how a salesperson or sales consultant can perform a live demo for an on-site customer. The second component is a script, which supports the internal coaching video and outlines exactly what a salesperson should click on and what they should say during this live demo. The third component is an externally facing or a customer video, and this is for the salesperson who does not have time to come up to speed on giving a live demo themselves and wants to sit down with the customer and simply press play and have them watch a recorded version of the demo. So, bringing together a demo package for each one of these initial joint offerings, while doing this, my biggest challenge was certainly navigating through this very complex web of teams that I had to get buy-in from. And this ranged from product marketing, evangelism, product management, sales velocity team, and this was not just inside here at Adobe, but it was also reaching across, of course, to Microsoft. So I was able to bring clarity to this process and add value by first publishing a live project plan. Now, this outlined all the steps that we need to take to meet our very tight deadline, and also provided one-click access to all the interested parties so they could always see what the most recent project status was. I also was the center of version control. So as you can imagine, among 12 different teams with content being passed around, someone needed to make sure that we were always working on the correct version. And I was that person. And I also made sure that we stayed on template and on brand. And this was something new for our team because we were co-branding with Microsoft for the first time. I also contributed by actually creating some of the scripts for these demo packages. So after consulting with subject matter experts on these demos, I created the outlines that said, this is exactly where you click, this is exactly what you say when you perform one of these live demos. So I was able to bring together these demo packages for these three initial offerings just in time for a Microsoft conference. And that is where we saw the immediate impact of these demos. So this is Adobe Vice President Jay Detling, and he is giving a main stage keynote using a version of our campaign demo that we created to 18,000 partners at this Microsoft conference. And this is an actual picture of that Microsoft conference and where Jay actually gave the keynote. And using this demo, also in booths after this keynote, our Adobe salespeople were able to capture 500 partner leads. So these fantastic results were actually duplicated just a few weeks later at another Microsoft conference called Ready. So in addition to the immediate impact of these demos, they continue to have continuing impact as well. On the Microsoft side, we have Microsoft salespeople who are using the demos on a regular basis in 40 technology centers around the world. And internally here at Adobe, just last week, I organized a webinar where we trained 125 sales consultants on how to use these demos to tell the joint Microsoft and Adobe story. And also, they now have access to all of this information, these demo tools, via 4 demo hub pages that I curated and worked with the sales velocity team to publish. So now that the Adobe field and the Microsoft field have access to these demo tools, they're really empowered to bring us another step closer to realizing that $400 million in added revenue over the coming 4 years. So that was my first project. My second project is the recent tech fair for Shantanu, which many of you likely attended. You may remember this clip where Shantanu and Brad face off to kick off the tech fair, which took place a couple of weeks ago in the hangar here at Lehigh, immediately following the all hands. So this was just the first of 14 demos that took place that day, where teams at Lehigh showed their innovations to Shantanu and all of our colleagues across the Lehigh site. So the tech fair was important for a couple of reasons. First, it gave Shantanu a way to efficiently digest what's going on at the Lehigh site. What are the cool innovations that we and our colleagues are building here? And second, it gave employees this fantastic opportunity to showcase their work and get visibility with executives. The way that I contributed to this project was, first, I streamlined the process of selecting who would participate. We received 21 entries of teams who wanted to participate, and I took a lot of disparate information, distilled it down into one bite-sized slide. And then I joined up with Steve Hammond and his team to select the 14 ideas that we knew Shantanu had to see while he was here at Adobe. Once we had selected the participants, I also facilitated 32 coaching sessions. And this was in order to bring together demo experts like Brandon Hartness and Tim Lott with these teams to coach them on how to perfect their presentations before they were actually standing in front of Shantanu. And lastly, I acted as a liaison between product marketing and Adam Justice and these 14 teams to really get these complex innovations down to 1 or 2 problem solution statements and then print them on these poster boards that accompanied their booths. So when I sent a follow-up survey to the participants of the tech fair, I wanted to get their feedback about what their experience had been at the tech fair. And this is some of the encouraging feedback that I got. So meeting the man himself, the CEO Shantanu, it was a lifetime experience. And I can echo this last statement by saying that working at Adobe this summer has been a lifetime experience for me. And I certainly have these 9 individuals, plus many more, to thank for helping me get my feet under me and get a running start. In particular, just calling out my manager, Mark Eman, who, even though he's not even on the site, served as a phenomenal mentor to me, and also Steve Hammond and Charlotte Bird, who I had the privilege to work closely with during the tech fair. So thank you to all of you who have made this such a rewarding experience for me, both professionally and personally. Thanks.